Well, I think you have to look at a couple of big trends there that came together in the year. And these were, of course, the growth of the disposables market in e-cigarettes in many, many countries. And at the same time, related but a different issue, was the rising concern about the environmental impact of e-cigarettes. Now, to an extent, the environmental thing arose for a different reason, perhaps, but of course, it fed into also the concern about disposables and the use of disposables. So that created once again, a big anxiety about youth usage of e-cigs. That's a rather negative piece of news from the year. On the positive side, I would say the big news of the year is that despite all the sort of bad press and the bad atmosphere in discussion, the actual use of e-cigarettes, vaping and THR seem to be as popular as ever in most countries. There's no signs of it declining. And that's not just youth usage, of course, I'm talking about adults too. So there was a lot of bad noise, but the reality on the ground was pretty good stuff. Well, I think in the UK, what I would hope for, and I think it's quite a reasonable hope, I would hope that the new policies the government is going to form on vaping will be constructive and reasonable ones. This was discussed quite a lot at some events in London recently. I think people very much felt that retail licensing was a good way ahead. I think that's very positive all round. That's actually good for THR and good for the e-cig sector as well as good from the government's point of view. I hope that on flavours we will get perhaps some restrictions on the description of flavours, but not on the flavours themselves. Finally, I'll just quickly say that this is not very UK specific, that I also hope that the rescheduled WHO COP meeting in Panama at the beginning of next year is not too negative. We can't hope it'll be positive, of course it won't be positive. But this is a time when, some countries are about to make big decisions. Brazil, for example, has a consultation going on about legalizing e-cigs and heated tobacco. And so anything very negative from the WHO could sway that against THR. If it's just the normal level of negativity, then we can maybe live with that.